I found this site on the dark web, completely by accident. It was called the Red Room Lottery. The landing page was minimalist, just black text on a stark white background. It promised winners a unique digital experience. Curiosity got the better of me. I mean, what's the harm in clicking a button, right? I entered my burner email, clicked the Enter Lottery button, and a second later, a new page loaded. "Congratulations," it said. "You have won. My prize? A live stream." The video feed was grainy, showing a bare white room. In the center, a man sat at a small wooden table, hunched over a bowl of soup, eating slowly. It was bizarre, almost like performance art. But as I leaned closer to the screen, a cold dread washed over me. The man, he looked just like my brother Mark. Mark, who had vanished without a trace 2 years ago. My heart hammered against my ribs. It couldn't be. I watched, paralyzed, as tears started streaming down his face, mixing with the broth in his spoon. He wasn't just eating. He was being forced to. Just then, 2 figures in black marks and overalls entered the frame. They stood behind him, their posture menacing. One of them prodded him with a long stick, and he flinched, scooping up another spoonful of soup with a trembling hand. Who were these people? Where was this happening? I frantically scanned the video for any clue, any detail that could tell me where he was. The walls were blank. The floor was concrete. Wait, that crack in the concrete floor near the corner. It looked so familiar. And that single exposed pipe running along the ceiling. A wave of nausea hit me. This wasn't just any blank room. It was my basement. The same basement I hadn't set foot in for years, ever since the flood. The door had been sealed shut, or so I thought. Just as the realization hit me, a faint noise from below caught my attention. A soft, scraping sound. It was coming from right beneath my feet. From the basement. My blood ran cold. I scrambled out of my chair and sprinted towards the basement door at the end of the hall. I twisted the old brass knob, but it wouldn't budge. It was locked. Not just locked, but bolted from the inside. How? I pulled out my phone, my hands shaking so hard I could barely hold it. The live stream was still playing. The masked figures were no longer looking at Mark. They had both turned their heads slowly, their blank, emotionless masks staring directly into the camera, directly at me. Then, their heads tilted upwards, their gaze fixed on the ceiling of the basement right where I was standing. One of them pointed up, and the other dragged a rickety wooden ladder into the frame, placing it directly under the basement ceiling door. My phone buzzed in my hand, a notification popping up on the screen over the live feed. The message was simple, terrifying. Your experience is about to begin. Through the phone speaker, I could hear the creak of the ladder as one of the figures began to climb. I backed away from the door, my breath catching in my throat. I watched the doorknob. Slowly, with an agonizing squeal of old metal, it began to turn. The screen on my phone went black. All I could hear was the heavy, groaning creak of a door being pushed open, followed by a final, chilling whisper that seemed to come from right behind me. "Winner takes all."